What is up, everybody? How's it going? And welcome back. All right, so here is the skid plate for the 2007 Toyota 4runner Sport Edition 4.7 liter V8. So this is the original skid plate for the front underneath the radiator. I actually drilled out the holes a little bit, as you can see right there. That one over there. Drill them out a little bit wider because I'm doing a skid plate drop and I have some spacers. So that's what that looks like. I just painted it up a little. I'm waiting for the paint to dry. So here is the truck. It does have its 3-inch front and rear level lift kit already installed, done. Here's the front right here. There you go. There's the red spacers right there. And I've been working on the diff drop, skid plate drop, and the SwayBar drop. And this bumper clip right here, actually, this bottom section used to be way down here low, towards the bottom of the tire. So it's definitely not a low rider anymore. This truck had a pretty bad front rake. Let's get down here. I can show you guys. All right. So, kind of just put the light there. There we go. So here's the SwayBar right here. So here's the SwayBar drop. I got everything installed. The SwayBar was actually hitting. So this section of the SwayBar was actually hitting this coil right here on the front coilovers. Now there is about 3 inches of clearance, maybe about 2.5, yeah, about 3 inches of clearance from here to the spring. So here are the spacers that I put in for the diff drop. Diff drop is done, even right there. There you go. And then the SwayBar, or the skid plate drop, here's the spacer right here. I just put the bolts in here just to leave them here until the front SwayBar is, or the front skid plate is dry. But this is right here is the 1-inch skid plate drop spacers. There's one there also, right there. And I had to cut those holes a little bit bigger for these bolts right here. And the other one is right there. So if I move back a little bit, so it's for these bolts. That one there, and the other one's right there at the very top, way up there. So that's why I cut the holes bigger. This is right underneath the radiator. Because that spacer, put the light here, that spacer, when it sits here, it actually pushes the skid blade at a kind of a weird angle, and the holes do not line up. So I had to waller out the holes a little bit on the skid plate to get this hole that's in the frame to line up. It's the skid plate actually moved forwards a little bit, so I had to make this section, the inside section of the skid plate, a little bit oblong, so that way this will mount up. It did mount over here just fine, but this side was only supported by there's little hooks that go in right here and on the other side, and that's all it was supporting. The front of the skid plate was the hook, so it could bounce if it wasn't bolted. So we got the diff drop done. You got the rear skid plate drop done. Got the SwayBar drop done. So everything's looking pretty good. Just gotta wait for that to dry, so that way I can install the front skid. And then I also got the Yoda Nation Tech Off-Road LED under hood light kit installed as well. Just gonna give you guys some updates. There you go. So there it is. LEDs up there. And if I push this pin right here, they turn off. Boom. So, works pretty good. That's just a little bit of updates for you guys. Do appreciate you guys stopping by as always. You guys have any questions, just leave comments. And I will see you guys on the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I'll see you guys next time. Might as well give you guys a little bit of walk around view. So this fender actually used to be 2 inches from the tire. It's now 8 inches from the tire. And then the rear used to be 4 inches, and it's now 8 inches. So it gained 4 in the rear and almost 6 in the front. So not too bad at all. Oh no, I think the front's like 9 something, my bad. But looks pretty good, guys. Definitely a lot more level. The front's no longer dipped down. The rear's no longer dipped or sticking up. So it had this down rake to it, and it looked funky. It looked like a low rider. I didn't like it. And I bashed the skid plates. Ended up bashing the skid plate on the gas tank as well. Put a big dent in that, just going off-roading a little bit. So that helps a lot. It looks a lot better. I'll walk back here and show you guys. There you go. Looks way more level. But that is all the updates I got for you guys today. So I'm just gonna wait for that skid plate to dry, and then I'll bolt it up, and it'll be good for now until I can get the locker, the ARB locker axle for the front and rear, since the front is actually blown and it needs new CV axles. And I'm going to end up probably doing the FJ transfer case swap, possibly the FJ rear axle swap as well. So it's going to end up with a rear locker, front locker, and it's going to have the center diff lock as well. And manual 4x4 transfer case. So it's going to be fun. See you guys next time.